Hello friends, we've arrived at the library. Let's move it. Okay, we're in the parking lot outside the library, and what you see here is a book cart. This will be our primary tool in moving a library. It's key to keep things safe and keep things moving when we're dealing with these book carts. First order of business, let's get this cart into the library. When empty, you can use one person. However, when these are filled with books, you'll need two people when going on these ramps. Empty, you walk backwards, turn it vertically, low center of gravity, and walk patiently down the ramp.
Okay, we're ready to begin loading here in the library. Now you notice I'm in hushed tones. This library is operational currently. As you can see here, this is the beginning of the nonfiction section, adult nonfiction, in this particular library. Libraries are divided by classifications. In this case, it's the Dewey Decimal System. Most university libraries adhere to the Library of Congress classification system. Other systems, such as Superintendent of Documents and alphabetized systems, also exist. You'll be advised by your supervisor on site as to which system you will be utilizing. Now, first things first, since we're in the nonfiction section, we're going to have to make some tags. Okay, we're going to make our first label here, which is for the nonfiction section. Cart 1. Now, when making labels, you'll generally want to make about 15 to 20 as you go. In this case, you do nonfiction 1, nonfiction 2, nonfiction 3, etc. Now, the key thing is, when you begin loading each cart, as I'll show you how to do in just a moment, you have to place the label on the top shelf. These are all 4 shelved carts, each with 3 feet of linear capacity apiece. And things will be loaded in shelf order, left to right, as they are on the shelves. Let's do a demonstration. Okay, we can begin. What the camera has just shown you is the beginning of the nonfiction section. Therefore, this will be our first hand load of books. Now remember, you have to have your tag on the first shelf of the cart before you start loading. This will be your guide, and will also be the guide for whoever unloads the book cart. You want to load swiftly, yet accurately. Nothing is worse on these jobs than getting anything out of order, and that cannot be overstated, rather. Now you see, I finished this top shelf here, but I will continue loading on my book cart shelf until it is completely filled. We want them pushed to the back, filled, and tight. So I'll be able to fit one more volume here. As you can see, we're going left to right, top to bottom. The same system shall apply with our book carts. Accuracy and swiftness. I think you get the idea. Okay, now that you've seen how to load a book cart, let's briefly show you how to unload one. And as you can see, it is fairly simple. In this hypothetical example, this would be an entire empty range of shelves. And just a little bit on terminology. This is a shelf. This is a shelf section. And this series of sections is a range. I'll begin unloading. I found my nonfiction 1 cart, and this is where nonfiction 1 is set to begin unloading. See your supervisor and ask him or her where to begin unloading for each section. You will also be assigned a fill ratio, that is, how full you will fill each shelf. 50% fill ratio would be halfway down the shelf. 75% fill ratio would be 3/4 of the shelf, and so on. We found cart nonfiction 1, and we'll begin unloading. In this case, we're going to be unloading at a 95% fill ratio. I pull from the left side of the cart and work top to bottom as well. Left to right, top to bottom when unloading. Grab as many books as you're comfortable with that you can reasonably set. That completes that shelf, and we'll move to the next. There we go. Now in this hypothetical example, only 2 of the shelves on our carts were full. In practice and in reality, we'll be filling our carts completely full from top to bottom, all 4 shelves, and they'll be unloaded as such as well. Okay, now we've just seen a brief tutorial on loading and unloading carts. Now, in the course of relocating a library, several people will have different positions. One main position, of course, is loading the cart. Another would be unloading the cart onto its destination shelves, usually at a different location. But another key element is pushing the carts. Now this may seem easy, and it is if you do it right, but let's briefly go over how to keep things safe. A key thing to keep in mind when pushing these carts is that they don't like to be pushed this way. Turn them to that either edge is facing, and stand firmly behind. Watch for impediments on either side of you and patrons. And walk slowly but securely. Now in some cases, shrink wrap will be necessary to apply on the books. I'll show you how to do that when we get to the job if it's necessary. The reason for that is keeping the books out of harm's way from inclement weather and other conditions. One of the less glorious, but definitely necessary portions of this job and positions that one of you will have on this job is loading the book cart onto the truck. Now in some cases we'll have a dock available. In others we'll be loading from the ground, meaning we'll have to push a full book cart up a ramp. Let's demonstrate a safe way to do that right now. Michael, why don't you step on the back? The person in back will grab near the middle and be mainly a guide for steering. The person behind will be responsible for the strength element. Keep low, hit the threshold, and push firmly at the middle. Once the cart is pushed into the truck, you'll definitely have a Kearney McNicholas driver there to assist you in securing the carts onto the truck. We'll load about 20 to 25 cartloads in a truck about this size. In fact, this truck, 875, is one of our main library moving trucks. Once we've placed those 25 carts on the truck, the driver will secure them with straps. You may be assigned to help that driver load and unload the truck.
We're off to the new library. We'll see you there.